Hi, welcome back for another tutorial about the urban grocery delivery system. Today we're going to show you the powerful features to set up and clean up your product listing on Urban Grocery. So we're going to show you how you can use the system to set up and clean up your categories and your brands. So we're logged into the back end here. The Urban Grocery delivery system organizes things into a hierarchy of different categories. So at the top you have departments. Generally they're not going to change much. You see departments here like things like general food, frozen. Generally you're not going to need to change those. And then we have under that sections, which is like an aisle. So we think things like, dairy, deli, feminine products, first aid, household, cleaning. And then finally we have categories. Let's get this to show all the categories. So we see the categories here. So sometimes what happens is, or not sometimes, it will happen, when you're adjusting your product listing for your particular area, you're going to remove some of the products, but they'll still have a category. So if the customer goes to the shopping cart here and say clicks on one of these categories, then they may find the product's not there. That's not good. So that's why you need to clean up the categories and the brands, or what we call distributors or brands, like, Hellman's or Kraft. Those are brands, or we call them distributors in the system. So anyway, you can do this by going over here to expand this tab here on the left where it says product maintenance. And then you want to go to set prices tags product tree. And then this is under the tab here called populate product tree. So here we see you can clean up sections. Now generally you're not going to need to clean up sections. What that does is, if there's no matching active products, it removes that section. Section is an aisle. So you might need that. But for today's example, we're just going to use a category, and it's a similar principle also for the distributors or brands. So let's go in the products listing here, where we see the all the different products, and say we were just looking at the category called extension cords, so which is in the general merchandise, miscellaneous general merchandise category. So when we search for extension cords, what we see here is there's a couple listings for store brand extension cords, like grounded outlets, 6 ground outlets, and a 25-foot extension. So say your store doesn't have those. So here we have the products we're using, and this is set in user data. Generally, you're going to have the tag set, in the user data section here. You're going to have the tag set for either tag 1 or tag 2. So we see here that it's set as you would expect. The default is tag 1. So basically I'm going to set these products as not available, or DEL means they won't show up in your shopping cart. Okay. So now there's actually no products under the extension cord category. Okay. So now if we go ahead to the we're on the set prices tags product tree here in this thing. So if we go ahead and set the product showing here, okay, so basically what's going to happen is, if we go to shopping cart and now we go, say we click on we go back to browse aisles, so we click on the general merchandise category here, and then we're going to select the miscellaneous general merchandise, and then we're going to click extension cord. Oops, error, no products, because we just removed the products. Okay, so let me show you here how to clean that up. So what we're going to do here is go to, as I said, we're in the price update tab here, set price text product tree, populate or update products. So what we're going to do here is clean up categories. And the same principle applies for sections, but generally there are fewer sections. You may not need to do that. So we're going to clean up categories. What that's going to do is remove categories where there's no active products. Likewise, if we had just added the extension cords in and it wasn't there before, we could update categories, and it's going to add the category for that. So now, if we go to the shopping cart, and categories don't need to be published, just the main products, and we refresh this page here, and say we go back to, we see that actually it's not there anymore. So anyway, let's go through that. So if we go to the general merchandise, and we go to the miscellaneous general merchandise, we see that there's no longer a category for extension cords. So that's what the clean up and add products button does. Okay, and the same principle applies for distributors or brands like Kraft and Hellmann's and stuff like that. So if you go to, say, an item, and say, for instance, condiments and sauces, and we go to, say, I don't know, ketchup. And say, you had been in your store, and we see there's Heinz ketchup, but say, and store brand ketchup. But say for some reason your store doesn't have any Hunt's ketchup, only Heinz, and you had deleted these items. Well, then when you clicked on Hunt's here as a brand, you will get nothing. So that's what this cleanup distributors brand does. And likewise, if you had added the Hunt's ketchup back in and it wasn't there, the brand would be missing. So this will update it. So that's how those buttons work, and that's very handy for keeping your product listing neat and tidy. That's a unique and powerful feature of the Urban Grocery Delivery System. If you had to do that manually, it would be a huge headache, but our system handles it for you, saving you hours, literally, and a lot of headache for your customers. Thanks for listening to this installment of the wonderful and powerful features of the Urban Grocery Delivery System. This is Richard Urban signing off, and we will see you next time.